Welcome back to Husman Bros, and today we are reviewing something out of the Luxury Hall of Fame, a 2005 Bentley Arnage R.
Sounds like a pirate's favorite car, but seriously, this hand-built British luxury sedan, when new, costs more than most people's houses. But now, you can get into this car for about the same cost as a base Honda Civic.
And before we go too much further, let's pay the rent. I'm Justin.
And I am Aaron.
And this is Husman Bros. We're going to show you how this V8 powered luxury barge is a lot cheaper than you think to maintain and actually pretty attainable.
Looking at this Bentley from the outside, it is all about presence. Long, low, and unapologetically formal. You've got that iconic mesh grille, 4 round headlights, and a profile that screams, oh, money.
And inside, it's what you would expect from a luxury car like a Bentley. Endless wood veneer, thick Connolly leather, lamb's wool rugs, even the headliner feels bespoke. It's opulence from a time before touchscreens took over. There's even a refrigerator in the back seat for your champagne or water bottles. In the back, it's like sitting in a gentleman's club. Everything's crystal and wood, leather and luxury.
Man, I gotta say, I think it's missing one big similarity with a gentleman's club, and I don't see a buffet around here either.
Maybe more of a country club, but as you see, we've got a bar here, so champagne room, but we have Staffordshire Crystal with the bar. You've got the big bottle for you and the little one for your driver so he doesn't drink too much.
I don't want to show you what's underneath this hood, but before we get that far, I need to provide a little bit of instruction because the information online is lacking. So once you have popped the Bentley hood, if you are looking for the safety latch, and if you're looking for it on a black car under the Texas sun, you're going to want to do this quick. It is not here. It is not right there. It is actually over here. It is offset on this side, so your driver does not have to walk very far to open the hood. Now, under that enormous black hood is Bentley's 6.75 liter twin turbocharged V8. In the Arnage R trim, it puts out 450 horsepower and a colossal 645 foot-pounds of torque. That's not just numbers, that's effortless thrust. This thing pulls like a freight train, but so quietly and smoothly, you barely even know that it's moving. I'm doing 200 miles an hour right now. So up until this point, I've told you nothing about this car that would make you think it's any different than a money pit old Bentley. Here it is. This drivetrain is solid as a rock. The engine, 6.75 liter V8, it has been in production for many, many years, and it was used because of its reliability. That V8 is paired up with a GM transmission, a 4L80E, the same transmission that has been used for years in Chevy trucks and SUVs, which means that parts are cheap-ish, and finding a mechanic who can work on it should not be that hard, provided they don't stop when they see Bentley.
Now, the kicker is that this was originally a $255,000 car when it was new. Adjusted for inflation, that's nearly $355,000 today.
But it's not brand new today, actually. It is used, and now this one is gently used. It only has about 11,000 miles on this car, so it's in fantastic condition. But this car is worth about $25,000 to $35,000. You think about that, a car that cost $250,000 now can be had for the cost of many basic compact new cars.
And because it's got Bosch electronics and it's not all touch screens and fancy creature comforts in the modern way, it's not quite the maintenance nightmare that you would expect.
That's the interesting thing about cars from the early 2000s. There was plenty of good technology to make you have all of the creature comforts at your fingertips in a car that was built in the early 2000s, but not so much technology. This car was out before the iPhone came out. There were not the same level of touchscreens. You think about tech has fast forwarded a lot. And with this one, you've got enough technology to make it comfortable and not make it feel like an old car, but not so much technology that little things are gonna break down and it's gonna end up costing you a lot of money and tedious work in fixing little things.
You will still have some little things that happen. You know, there are sometimes seat memory problems, and the mirror on this one has gone a little bit dark as it's an adjusting mirror, but those aren't the end of the world. There are lots of spares available for this car, and fairly inexpensively. So there are actually, I think they're called accumulators on the rear shocks. From Bentley, those accumulators are about $800. The owner of this car has gotten them shipped here from a website overseas for about $350 for the pair. So parts are available and less expensive than you think. Now, there are a lot of reviewers that have their own spin on things. They have their own deal. So we're going to institute a new thing. How many errands fit in the trunk? And so for this one, I think we're about an errand and a half.
Yeah, but I've got 4 umbrellas.
Okay, very nice.
For me and all of my family or friends, I
Right,
suppose. But it's very roomy trunk, very comfortable. Even a speaker back here. So if you do have somebody that needs to ride in the trunk, at least they can hear the great music that you're playing in the front.
Luxury all the way.
All the way. Now, let's not say this is all sunshine and rainbows. After all, this is a Bentley, and there is a reason you can pick these up for $30,000.
Right.
And that is because some people got these cheap and they did not take very good care of them. That is not the Bentley that you want to buy. You want to buy one that is first owner, ideally, but if it's not first owner, you want to have good records of maintenance. You want to make sure fluids have been changed regularly, and you certainly want one from a nice, cool, dry climate, one that has been garage kept. You can tell from the paint on this car and from the way it has been kept, this has always been in a garage. This wood inside the interior of this car is going to be dry and cracked and in terrible shape. It's going to look like trash if you get one that has not been well maintained. But if you can find a well-maintained example, and there should be plenty of them out there because they made a lot of these cars, then you can find yourself a really, really nice luxury car to drive around, which will be far better than anybody's BMW or Mercedes that they could drive to the office.
So what's the final verdict? This isn't a daily driver or a commuter car. It's a car that you get out on weekends. It's a car that you use to make a statement without blowing a lot of money. So for a bargain basement price, you get the craftsmanship, the luxury, and the history of a Bentley. I don't know that this is a wise decision, but it's not the worst decision you could make.
So what does that mean for you? It means you can own a piece of British aristocracy without having to take a mortgage out on your castle.
So if you have comments, if you're shopping for one of these, if you own one of these and you have stories about them, please leave them in the comments below. But if a Bentley isn't your style, check out some of these other reviews we've done up here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.